Chosen one, listen to me carefully. I carry an important and urgent message today, and this message is not for everyone. If you are not walking the divine path of God, if your heart is not aligned with His truth, I gently tell you, this is not for you. But if you are a true follower of Christ, if your spirit has been set apart, if you know deep inside that God has marked you for something higher, then you are exactly where you are meant to be. This message has reached you at the perfect moment, not early, not late. Heaven allowed it to cross your path because your soul is ready to hear what others cannot. Today, I am speaking about a sacred truth. Only the 144,000 can attain a certain spiritual power, and only they can sing a song that the world cannot learn. This song is not sung with the mouth. It is released from the Spirit, and it carries authority. If you stay with me until the end, you will understand why your life has unfolded the way it has, and why God has been shaping you in silence. What you hear today can change how you see yourself forever. Before we continue, chosen ones, give a like to this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, tap the bell icon so you never miss a message meant for you, and comment 777 below to declare that you are aligned with the divine purpose God has placed upon your life. Stay with me. This message is for you. Section 2. Who the 144,000 really are. Let me slow this down for you because this is where many people misunderstand God and end up either afraid or prideful, and neither of those spirits come from Him. When Scripture speaks of the 144,000, it is not calling a small group to feel superior, and it is not creating fear in those who are still growing. God does not rule through confusion, He rules through clarity. The 144,000 are not a random number chosen to impress the mind. They represent a spiritual order, a people refined through obedience, truth, and surrender. This is not about titles, labels, or public recognition. God has never worked that way. From the beginning, He has always hidden His strongest servants in plain sight. The chosen are not loud, they are not boastful, they are not chasing validation, they are usually the ones who have been misunderstood the most. You see, being part of the 144,000 is not about being perfect. It is about being set apart. It is about carrying a heart that refuses to bow to deception, even when deception is popular. It is about choosing truth when lies would make life easier. Many people want blessings, very few want purification, and that is the difference. If you are listening to me right now and something inside you feels calm instead of anxious, that is a sign. The chosen are not shaken by truth. They recognize it. They may not fully understand it yet, but their spirit knows it is familiar. God speaks to the chosen in a way that feels like remembrance rather than new information. The 144,000 are those who have been willing to walk through inner wilderness seasons, times when God stripped away distractions, times when prayers felt unanswered, times when friendships faded, times when you questioned yourself, not because you lacked faith, but because God was teaching you humility and discernment. This is not punishment. This is preparation. Let me say this clearly, because many of you need to hear it without fear. Being called does not mean you are already finished. It means you are in process. God does not reveal the full weight of a calling until the soul is strong enough to carry it. That is why He allows delay. That is why He allows silence. That is why He allows pressure, not to crush you, but to shape you. The 144,000 are not defined by what they do publicly. They are defined by what they refuse to compromise privately, when no one is watching, when it would be easy to blend in, when it would be simpler to stay quiet. These are people whose inner alignment matters more than outward approval. You may have noticed that your conscience is sensitive, that certain things others enjoy make you uncomfortable, that you feel conviction quickly, that your spirit does not tolerate hypocrisy for long. This is not weakness. This is refinement. God trains the chosen from the inside out. And let me remove another misunderstanding. The 144,000 are not self-appointed. No one chooses themselves into this. God does the choosing, and He does it quietly. Many who think they belong are still operating from ego, and many who truly belong are still doubting themselves. God often hides His strongest vessels behind humility. If you have ever felt unqualified, that is not disqualification. That is awareness. Pride disqualifies faster than weakness ever could. God resists the proud, but He strengthens the humble. The chosen are not fearless. They are faithful. They move forward even when they feel small. You must understand this part carefully. The 144,000 are not separated from the rest of God's people by value. All are loved, all are seen, but not all are given the same assignments. Some are called to comfort, some are called to lead, some are called to protect truth in dark places. God assigns based on capacity, not favoritism. Your life experiences matter here. The rejection you endured, the betrayal that changed you, the loneliness that matured you, these were not accidents. God does not waste pain on the chosen. He uses it as training. Every wound that healed correctly became wisdom. Every disappointment that did not harden your heart became strength. You were not meant to live loudly. You were meant to live accurately. That is the difference. The 144,000 walk with discernment. They speak when God releases them to speak. They remain silent when silence carries more authority. They are not reactive. They are anchored. If you are still here listening, I want you to breathe for a moment. You do not need to prove anything to God. He already knows who you are. Your task is not to rush. Your task is to remain aligned. Growth in God is not speed, it is depth. The chosen do not rush identity. They let it unfold. They let God correct them. They let Him remove what does not belong. They understand that spiritual authority is not demanded. It is recognized by heaven and felt by the Spirit. And let me reassure you of this. If you belong to this calling, you will not miss it. God does not lose His own. He may delay revelation, but He never forgets His vessels. What He has started in you, He will complete in His time. The 144,000 are not chasing power. Power follows them because they are aligned with truth, and alignment always attracts authority. Stay with me. We are just beginning to uncover what that authority truly sounds like. Section 3. The song that only the chosen can sing. Now let us go deeper, because this is where the mystery becomes personal. When Scripture speaks about a song that only the chosen can sing, many imagine music, melody, or sound. But God is not limited to instruments or voices. The song I am speaking of is not heard by ears. It is recognized by the Spirit. It is a frequency of obedience, a resonance of truth, a harmony between heaven and a surrendered soul. This song is formed, not learned. No teacher can train it. No book can explain it fully. No imitation can reproduce it. That is why only the chosen can sing it. It is written into their journey, etched into their scars, refined through their endurance. The song is the testimony of a life that walked through fire without becoming ash. You must understand this carefully. The song is not about what you say. It is about who you are when you say nothing at all. It is carried in your presence. Some people enter a room and bring noise. Others enter and bring peace. That peace is part of the song. It is authority without force. It is clarity without argument. This song begins forming when you choose obedience over comfort. Every time you walked away from something that felt good but was wrong, a note was added. Every time you remained faithful while misunderstood, the harmony deepened. Every time you trusted God without explanation, the song grew stronger. You were not wasting time. You were tuning your spirit. Many people want to sing loudly, but their spirit is out of alignment. That is why their words carry no weight. Heaven does not respond to volume. It responds to alignment. The chosen learn this early, often through pain. God allows silence so the soul can learn to listen. Before he releases the song, he trains the ear. You may have noticed that your life forced you inward. While others were distracted, you were confronted with yourself. While others escaped discomfort, you were pressed into growth. This was not accidental. God was shaping your inner voice. The song cannot be sung by a fractured soul. It requires wholeness, honesty, and surrender. The song also carries memory. Not memory of past mistakes, but memory of truth. When the chosen hear truth, it resonates like something remembered rather than something learned. That is because the song already existed within them before they understood it. God places calling before clarity. Identity comes before instruction. This song is also costly. That is why many refuse it. It demands integrity when compromise would be easier. It demands patience when rushing would bring applause. It demands humility when ego wants recognition. The chosen pay this price quietly. They are not rewarded immediately. Their reward is depth. Let me tell you something that will bring you peace. If you have ever felt that you did not belong in certain spaces, it is because your song did not match the environment. Light does not blend into darkness. Truth does not harmonize with deception. That discomfort was not rejection. It was discernment awakening. The song of the chosen carries authority because it is backed by obedience. Heaven recognizes obedience instantly. When the chosen speak, even briefly, their words land differently, not because they are louder, but because their spirit is aligned. Authority is not forced, it is acknowledged. And here is something important. The song cannot be rushed. Some of you are frustrated because you feel delayed, you feel unseen, you feel hidden. But a song released too early lacks depth. God protects the song by protecting the singer. Premature exposure can damage what is still forming. The chosen often go through seasons where they feel voiceless. Prayers feel quiet. Direction feels unclear. But in those moments, God is not absent. He is refining tone. He is removing distortion. He is aligning the heart so that when the song is finally released, it carries precision. You may ask why suffering was necessary, why loss was allowed, why isolation became familiar. It is because shallow joy cannot carry deep authority. The song must be tested in sorrow so it can stand in victory. God does not anoint what has not been refined. The song also brings peace to the one who carries it. Even when circumstances are uncertain, there is a calm within you that others cannot explain. That calm is not denial, it is trust. It is the knowledge that God is present even when outcomes are unknown. Many will hear the song and not understand it. Some will feel exposed by it. Others will be healed by it. The chosen do not control the reaction. They remain faithful to the assignment. Their responsibility is alignment, not approval. And let me correct another misunderstanding. Singing this song does not mean constant speaking. Sometimes the song is expressed through silence, restraint, and patience. Sometimes obedience is louder than words. God hears the heart before he hears the mouth. If you are listening right now and feeling seen rather than overwhelmed, that is confirmation. Fear does not come from God. Peace does. Conviction comes with clarity, not confusion. The song of the chosen brings clarity. This song does not glorify the self. It glorifies God. That is why the chosen remain humble even as authority increases. Pride would distort the sound. God guards the song by guarding the heart. And here is the part many do not like to hear. Once the song is fully formed, you cannot go back to who you were. Awareness changes responsibility. Truth deepens accountability. That is why God reveals this slowly. But do not be afraid. You are not carrying this alone. God does not call without sustaining. The same hand that refined you will steady you. The same voice that taught you in silence will guide you in clarity. The song you carry is not for entertainment. It is for alignment. It shifts atmospheres. It calms storms. It exposes lies without confrontation. It brings peace without explanation. And you are still becoming fluent in it. Stay with me. Next, we must talk about why most people, no matter how spiritual they appear, will never be able to sing this song at all. Section 4. Why most people can never sing this song. Now let me speak plainly to you, because clarity is a form of mercy. Not everyone can sing this song, and that truth does not come from judgment. It comes from design. God does not give the same assignment to every soul. He never has. And when people try to carry what they were not prepared for, it does not produce power. It produces distortion. Most people desire the outcome of spiritual authority without accepting the process that creates it. They want influence without discipline. They want peace without surrender. They want the fruit without tending the root. This is not rebellion, it is immaturity. And God does not entrust deep authority to immature vessels. The song of the chosen requires a willingness to be corrected. Many people love affirmation, but resist correction. They surround themselves with voices that comfort their ego instead of refining their character. But God's chosen cannot grow that way. Refinement is uncomfortable. It exposes motives. It confronts shortcuts. It demands honesty when self-deception would feel safer. Another reason most cannot sing this song is because they fear silence. Silence reveals what noise hides. When distractions are removed, unresolved wounds surface. Unaddressed pride becomes visible. Fear speaks loudly. Many people avoid silence because they are not ready to face themselves. But the chosen are trained in quiet places. They learn to sit with truth even when it challenges them. You see, the song is born in places where applause is absent. It is shaped where validation is unavailable. Most people abandon these places too early. They mistake discomfort for failure. But the chosen understand that discomfort is often confirmation. Growth does not feel flattering. It feels stretching. Another truth many do not like to hear is this. The song requires obedience even when obedience costs you relationships, opportunities, and comfort. Many people choose belonging over obedience. They adjust their values to fit environments. They dilute truth to avoid tension. But the song loses its power when truth is compromised. The chosen are not perfect, but they are consistent. They return to alignment quickly. They repent sincerely. They correct course without defensiveness. Most people resist this level of accountability. They explain away conviction. They justify compromise. Over time, this dulls spiritual sensitivity, and a dull spirit cannot carry a clear song. There is also the matter of patience. The song cannot be rushed. But most people are impatient with God. They want immediate results. They want visible progress. They want reassurance before obedience, but faith does not work that way. God reveals in layers. Authority is released gradually. Those who rush ahead often lose depth. Many also confuse spirituality with emotion. Emotional experiences can feel powerful, but emotion alone does not produce authority. Authority comes from consistency, from obedience that remains when feelings fade. The chosen learn to stand even when they feel nothing. That steadiness is rare. Let me say this gently. Some people love spiritual language, but they do not love spiritual responsibility. They enjoy the identity but resist the discipline. The song demands discipline, not harshness. Discipline of thought, discipline of speech, discipline of intention. Without discipline, the song becomes noise. Another reason many cannot sing this song is because they are unwilling to release control. The chosen eventually learn that control is an illusion. They surrender outcomes. They trust timing. They allow God to interrupt plans. Many people cling tightly to their own vision. They want God to bless their path rather than guide it. That resistance blocks alignment. You may have noticed that people who talk the most about spirituality often listen the least. The chosen are listeners before they are speakers. They wait, they discern, they test spirits. They do not react quickly. Most people want quick answers. The song requires depth, not speed. There is also fear. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of being alone. Fear of losing identity. Many people stay where they are because leaving would require transformation, but the chosen accept transformation as part of obedience. They understand that growth will cost them familiarity. Some people mistake spiritual authority for dominance. They think power looks like control, correction, or visibility. But the song carries authority through presence, not pressure. It calms rather than intimidates. It corrects without humiliation. This kind of authority cannot be manufactured. It is recognized, not asserted. Another reason many cannot sing this song is because they refuse to let go of past identities. They cling to who they were, even when God is calling them forward. The chosen grieve who they were. They release it. They allow God to redefine them. That process is painful. Many avoid it. You must understand this clearly. God does not withhold the song arbitrarily. He protects it. He knows what it requires. He knows the weight it carries. Giving it to an unprepared soul would harm them. So he waits. He watches. He refines. Most people want reassurance before obedience. The chosen obey before reassurance. That is the difference. They move with trust, not certainty. They walk forward without seeing the full picture. That kind of faith is rare. And here is the most important reason many will never sing this song. They are unwilling to die to self. Not physically, but internally. They protect ego. They defend image. They resist humility. But humility is the foundation of the song. Without humility, the sound is distorted. If you're listening to this and feeling relief rather than fear, that matters. Truth does not threaten the chosen. It grounds them. If this feels heavy but honest, it means your spirit recognizes alignment. You were never meant to compete with others. Comparison is a distraction. The song is unique to each chosen soul. There is no replacement for obedience. There is no shortcut to refinement. And let me tell you this clearly. The fact that you stayed listening this far already says something about you. Not because you are better, but because you are willing to hear truth without defensiveness. Stay calm, stay humble, stay aligned. In the next section, we will talk about how God actually prepares the voice of the chosen and why the seasons you thought were setbacks were quietly shaping your authority. Section 5. How God prepares the voice of the chosen. Now let me guide you gently into something many chosen ones struggle to understand. God does not prepare the voice the way humans expect. He does not train it publicly. He does not rush it. He does not explain every step. God prepares the voice of the chosen in places where no one is applauding, and often where no one is watching. The first way God prepares the chosen is through silence. Silence is uncomfortable for most people, but for the chosen, it becomes familiar. Silence removes distractions. It removes false confidence. It removes borrowed beliefs. When everything becomes quiet, the chosen begin to hear what was always there beneath the noise. God speaks most clearly when the soul finally stops demanding answers. Many of you went through seasons where prayers felt unanswered, where direction felt blurred, where you wondered if God was still close. That was not abandonment. That was refinement. God was teaching you to recognize His presence without constant reassurance. A voice that depends on constant validation cannot carry authority. So God teaches the chosen to stand even when reassurance is absent. Another way God prepares the voice is through misunderstanding. You may have noticed that people often misinterpret your intentions. Your silence was called arrogance. Your caution was called fear. Your obedience was called weakness. This was painful, but it was necessary. God uses misunderstanding to detach the chosen from the need for approval. A voice that needs approval will eventually compromise truth. God also prepares the chosen through delay. Delay is not denial. Delay deepens roots. When things take longer than expected, motives are exposed. Impatience surfaces. Control is challenged. Many people walk away from God during delay. The chosen stay. They wrestle, they question, but they remain. And remaining changes a person. There were moments you felt behind, moments you felt overlooked, moments you felt like others were moving ahead while you were standing still. But stillness was part of the training. God was building internal stability. A voice released too early collapses under pressure. God waits until the soul can remain grounded no matter the outcome. Loss is another tool God uses, though it is one of the hardest to accept. Some of you lost relationships that mattered deeply. Others lost opportunities that felt divinely aligned. Some lost versions of themselves they were comfortable with. These losses were not punishments, they were pruning. God removes what will eventually interfere with the sound He is forming. The chosen often experience isolation, not because they are antisocial, but because God is narrowing influence. Too many voices confuse direction. Too much advice distorts clarity. God separates the chosen long enough for their inner voice to become clear. Isolation is not abandonment, it is alignment. God also prepares the voice through obedience in small things. Many expect dramatic assignments, but God watches how you handle the unseen moments, how you speak when frustrated, how you respond when no one notices, how you treat people who cannot benefit you. Authority grows in these moments. Heaven measures faithfulness differently than humans do. Conviction is another sign of preparation. The chosen feel conviction quickly. Certain behaviors that others tolerate begin to disturb your peace. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is calibration. God tunes the chosen finely. Small misalignments feel loud. This keeps the song pure. There were moments you were tempted to harden your heart, to shut down emotionally, to stop caring. That resistance you felt inside was God protecting your softness. The chosen are not hardened, they are anchored. Softness with boundaries creates strength. God preserves your ability to feel even after pain because empathy sharpens discernment. God also prepares the voice by allowing the chosen to face themselves honestly. This includes confronting pride, fear, insecurity, and doubt. Many avoid self-examination. The chosen cannot. God will not allow self-deception to coexist with spiritual authority. Truth must be faced internally before it can be carried externally. You may have noticed that you outgrew certain environments without intending to. Conversations that once felt engaging now feel empty. Values that once seemed normal now feel misaligned. This is not judgment, it is growth. God changes appetite before He changes assignment. Another preparation many overlook is fatigue. Spiritual fatigue teaches reliance. It reminds the chosen that strength does not come from effort alone, it comes from surrender. When you reached the end of your own capacity and still remained faithful, something shifted. You learned where true strength comes from. God also prepares the voice by allowing the chosen to fail safely. Yes, fail. Failure humbles. It teaches discernment. It removes illusion. God does not expose the chosen publicly during these moments. He allows learning in private. This preserves dignity while building wisdom. The chosen are also trained to wait for permission before speaking. Not every truth needs to be spoken immediately. Timing matters. God teaches restraint. Speaking too soon can damage both the speaker and the listener. Silence is sometimes obedience. You may have noticed that your life forced you to become introspective, to think deeply, to observe patterns, to notice motives. This awareness is part of preparation. A shallow voice cannot guide deep waters. And let me reassure you here, If this preparation feels heavy, it is because what you are being prepared for carries weight. God does not train lightly for serious assignments, but He also does not abandon you in the process. Even when you felt alone, you were being watched carefully. The voice God prepares is not aggressive. It is steady. It does not demand attention. It draws it naturally. It does not manipulate. It invites. It does not condemn. It clarifies. If you have ever felt that your journey has been unusually intense, this is why. Depth requires pressure. Clarity requires contrast. Authority requires alignment. You are not being delayed. You are being strengthened. And here is something important to hold on to. Preparation does not mean you are finished becoming. It means you are becoming trustworthy. God entrusts influence to those who can carry it without losing themselves. If this resonates, take a slow breath. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not late. You are being shaped carefully. In the next section, we will speak about what happens when a chosen one finally releases this song and why its impact is far greater than you realize. Section 6. What happens when a chosen one sings this song? Now listen carefully, because this is where many chosen ones underestimate what God has placed within them. When a chosen one finally sings this song, the first thing that happens is not noise, it is shift. Atmospheres change quietly. Tension dissolves without explanation. Confusion loses its grip. This is not emotional manipulation. This is alignment, releasing order. The song does not announce itself. It does not demand attention. It simply enters a space, and what does not belong begins to feel uncomfortable. Truth has that effect. Darkness does not need to be confronted loudly. It recognizes authority instantly. That is why some people feel uneasy around you without knowing why. Your presence carries clarity, and clarity exposes. When the chosen sing this song, conversations change, arguments soften, hostility loses momentum. Even when no words are spoken, something settles. That settling is not weakness, it is spiritual gravity. God-backed alignment carries weight. People feel it before they understand it. Another thing that happens is recognition without explanation. Those who are searching for truth feel drawn. Those who are hiding from it feel disturbed. The chosen do not chase influence. Influence finds them, not because they desire it, but because alignment attracts attention naturally. This song also brings peace to places where chaos once dominated. Not instant perfection, but steadiness, stability. A reminder that God is present even when circumstances are unresolved. The chosen do not bring solutions immediately. They bring calm first, and calm creates space for wisdom. You must understand this. When the song is released, it does not elevate ego. It humbles the carrier. Responsibility deepens. Sensitivity increases. The chosen become more careful, not more bold. They listen more. They speak less. Authority makes them gentler, not louder. Another effect of the song is exposure. Lies lose comfort. Masks feel heavy. People who rely on manipulation find it difficult to operate around truth. This is why some resist you without reason. This is why some distance themselves suddenly. This is not rejection. This is discernment doing its work. The song also carries healing, though not always the kind people expect. Some are healed through comfort, others through confrontation. Truth heals differently depending on the heart. The chosen do not control the method. They remain faithful to alignment. When the chosen sing, they also experience inner stillness. Even in pressure, there is calm. Even in uncertainty, there is trust. This does not mean fear disappears. It means fear no longer governs decisions. Courage becomes quiet. Confidence becomes grounded. Another important shift is clarity of assignment. When the song is active, distractions lose appeal. What once tempted no longer satisfies. The chosen stop chasing. They start discerning. Time becomes valuable. Energy becomes guarded. This is not isolation. This is stewardship. You may notice that when you speak truth, it lands differently now. Fewer words are needed. Explanations shorten. Silence becomes effective. That is because the song is doing the work beneath the surface. God removes the need for persuasion when alignment is present. There is also resistance. Let us not avoid that truth. When the song is released, opposition increases. Not because you are wrong, but because truth disrupts comfort. The chosen are not shocked by resistance. They expect it, but they do not engage emotionally. They remain steady. This song also affects the chosen personally. Old wounds lose power. Memories soften. Forgiveness becomes possible. Not forced, but natural. Healing accelerates when alignment is restored. The soul stops fighting itself. You may find that your prayers change. They become simpler, more direct, less anxious. You stop negotiating with God. You start trusting Him. This is maturity. The song refines communication with heaven. Another effect is authority over your own inner world. Thoughts become easier to manage. Discernment sharpens. You notice when fear is not yours. You recognize when doubt is external pressure. The chosen learn to govern their inner environment before influencing external ones. The song also protects the chosen, not from hardship, but from unnecessary entanglement. You sense when to step back. You feel when to remain silent. You recognize when engagement would drain rather than build. Wisdom replaces urgency. Some people will misunderstand your calm. They will call it detachment. They will say, "You changed." And you did. You aligned. Peace can look strange to those addicted to chaos. Do not explain yourself. Alignment speaks for itself. When the chosen sing this song, God also entrusts them with timing. They sense when to move and when to wait. This discernment saves them from regret. Impulsive decisions decrease. Discerned actions increase. Life becomes intentional. You may notice that your presence comforts some deeply. They may not know why they feel safe around you. Safety is rare. Truth creates safety when it is carried with humility. The chosen become safe places for honesty. The song does not make the chosen invincible. It makes them anchored. They still feel pain. They still grieve. But they do not collapse. They recover faster. They remain open. This resilience is spiritual strength. Another quiet effect is gratitude. The chosen stop resenting their past. They understand it. They see how every season contributed. Even pain gains meaning. Meaning heals more deeply than answers. And here is something many overlook. When the chosen sing this song, they no longer need recognition. Validation loses its grip. Approval becomes optional. This freedom is powerful. Nothing controls a soul that no longer needs permission to be itself. The song also aligns the chosen with others who carry similar depth. Not many, but enough. Quality over quantity. These connections feel different, less performative, more honest. God values depth over crowds. Let me say this clearly. When this song is active, your life becomes a message without effort. You do not need to preach. You live accurately. And accuracy teaches more than words ever could. If this feels heavy, pause and breathe. This is not pressure. This is awareness. God does not rush the chosen. He reveals in stages. You are not expected to perform. You are expected to remain aligned. And if you are listening to this and feeling calm rather than overwhelmed, that is confirmation. Truth settles the chosen. It does not agitate them. In the next section, we will speak about why this message reached you now and what season you are quietly stepping into. Section 7. Why this message reached you now? Now let me speak to the timing, because timing is never random with God. This message did not reach you by accident. You did not stumble upon it. You were not merely scrolling. Heaven does not work through coincidence. It works through alignment. And right now, something within you is aligned enough to hear what others would dismiss or misunderstand. There is a reason this message found you now and not earlier. Earlier, it would have confused you. Earlier, it might have inflated you. Earlier, it might have frightened you. But now, you are steady enough to receive it without distortion. God waits for readiness, not excitement. He speaks when the heart can hold truth without breaking. You are at a quiet threshold, not a dramatic one, but a decisive one. Old cycles are losing power over you. Old fears no longer control you the way they once did. You may still feel them, but they no longer define your decisions. That shift matters. God does not reveal deeper responsibility until the soul is no longer ruled by fear. Many of you sensed recently that something was ending, even if you could not name it. Certain patterns stopped repeating. Certain emotional reactions softened. Certain temptations lost their grip. That was not self-improvement. That was spiritual transition. God was closing a chapter without noise. This message reached you now because you have learned to sit with discomfort without running. You have learned to question without rebelling. You have learned to wait without losing faith. Those lessons prepared you for clarity. Clarity comes after endurance, not before it. Some of you have been asking God quietly, not for blessings, but for understanding. You wanted to know why your path felt heavier, why your sensitivity felt sharper, why you could not live shallow even when you tried. This message is part of that answer. God is explaining you to yourself. There is also urgency here, but not panic. Urgency does not always mean immediate action. Sometimes urgency means awareness. God is sharpening your discernment because the next season will require accuracy, not speed. Accuracy. Small misalignments will matter more. Choices will carry more weight. That is why clarity is being released now. You may have noticed a growing discomfort with noise, drama, and unnecessary conflict. This is not withdrawal. This is discernment maturing. God is teaching you to protect your inner environment. What once entertained now drains you. What once excited now distracts you. That shift signals readiness. This message reached you now because you are learning to listen differently. You are less reactive, less defensive, less desperate for reassurance. God does not speak deeply to anxious hearts. He speaks to anchored ones. Your calm made space for this message. Let me say something important. This is not about pressure to perform. God is not demanding more effort. He is inviting deeper alignment. He is asking you to trust the shaping process rather than rush the outcome. What comes next will unfold naturally if you remain faithful. You may also sense that people around you are changing. Some drifting away, others appearing unexpectedly. This is not loss, it is reordering. God aligns environments with identity. As you change internally, your external world adjusts. Do not cling to what no longer fits. This message reached you now because you are strong enough to remain humble. That matters. Revelation without humility produces pride, but humility preserves clarity. God can trust you with truth because you no longer use it to elevate yourself above others. There is also a gentleness in this season, a quiet strengthening. You may not feel dramatic breakthroughs, but you feel steady, peaceful, grounded. That steadiness is preparation. Storms do not uproot those who are anchored deeply. You are not being rushed into exposure. You are being invited into stewardship. Stewardship of your thoughts. Stewardship of your words. Stewardship of your energy. God reveals responsibility before visibility. This message reached you now because you have stopped asking God to explain everything. You trust Him enough to walk without full clarity. That trust unlocks deeper guidance. Faith matures when control loosens. Let me reassure you of this. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to hear this. And hearing it does not mean everything changes overnight. It means understanding deepens. You are entering a season where discernment will guide you more than emotion, where peace will signal direction more than excitement, where alignment will matter more than applause. This message is preparing you for that. If you feel calm listening to this, hold on to that calm. That is your anchor. God speaks through peace when the soul is ready, and in the final section, we will bring everything together gently, grounding you in truth, humility, and reassurance, so you can move forward without fear, pressure, or confusion. Conclusion. Stand, sing, and remain faithful. Chosen one, take a slow breath with me now. Nothing you have heard today was meant to pressure you. It was meant to steady you. God does not rush what He values, and He does not confuse those He calls. If this message settled your spirit rather than stirred fear, that is because truth feels familiar to those who are aligned with it. You were never meant to compete, perform, or prove yourself. You were meant to remain faithful. Faithful in thought, faithful in character, faithful in obedience, even when no one sees it. The song you carry is not for display. It is for alignment, and alignment always brings peace before it brings visibility. Do not rush the unfolding. Do not compare your path to others. God writes differently with each life, but He is precise with every detail. What He has refined in you was not wasted. What He allowed you to walk through was not meaningless. You are not behind. You are becoming. Remain humble, remain attentive, remain grounded. Let silence continue to teach you. Let peace guide your decisions. Let discernment protect your energy. You do not need to announce who you are. Heaven already knows. If you are one of the chosen, you will recognize when to speak and when to remain still. You will recognize when to move and when to wait. And above all, you will recognize God's voice because it always brings clarity, not confusion. Before you go, chosen ones, give a like to this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, tap the bell icon so you stay connected to messages meant for you, and comment 777 below as a quiet confirmation that you are aligned with the purpose God is unfolding in your life. Walk gently, stand firmly, and remain faithful.